Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261, it's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Redshire, and this one is under the command of Huggy9999. Is that 9999? Yes, it's 4 nines. Oh, sounds like he's got a famous person driving his vehicle. Well, Huggy9999, not the same as Heavy9999, which was the last player who was on our channel. Different player, but he sent in a lot of replays and some of them were actually quite good. So we've got a dual replay here for you, 2 replays featuring the Object 261, 2 games that he's played, and he's starting off on Redshire, South Spawn. Now this is the 18cm naval gun mounted on a hull that comes from an Object, well, it was not an Object actually, it was an IS-7. But of course the IS-7 never got put into production, so of course this Arty never existed. It was a prototype though, jumps out, direct hit! Now one thing you can say about the Object 261, it's probably the most accurate Arty in the game, and it's also got the longest range in the game as well. It's fairly mobile, it's got a fairly flat trajectory as well, which makes it difficult to hit certain targets. And, well, it only carries a limited amount of ammunition. Direct hit on the Progetto. Now, he's only got 20 rounds of ammunition. He's now down to 18. But the actual Object 261 only ever carried 18 rounds anyway, or the prototypes that they built. They built 3 different types, or 3 different designs. The 2611, which had a 152mm gun. The 2612 was an opened vehicle with another 152mm gun, and the last one, the 2613, was the one that carried the 18cm. Oh, direct hit again! And you notice how he, after he fires, he quickly moves forward to avoid any counter battery. One bad thing is that he has actually knocked down these trees, and well, that could give away his position to an enemy Arty player who is looking for him. Fairly observant. They might be able to work out where he is. Okay, checking the map at the moment, there's only that Gorilla 15 that's in open ground, but we can see the Emil through the gap there. Can he get the thing dialed in time? Well, he's fully dialed in now, but now the Emil's hiding behind that wall. He could splash him, but as you can see here, the Alpha is 900 and the splash radius is only 10 meters. So you do need to get the shell fairly close, because it's got corresponding values to the 155mm guns, you might say. Fires a blind shot in, relocates quickly. I have the feeling that Huggy9999 actually has been counter-battery quite a lot in the past, and so as of natural course he quickly relocates. And if Wargaming were to bring in the changes that have been suggested in the sandbox, then relocating immediately might actually be to his benefit. But you can see this flat trajectory is actually causing him problems trying to hit that defender, because I'm not so sure the shell's going to go over that ridgeline and strike him unless he goes around to try and attack the E100 from the rear. He's just waited for the E100 to fire around. Oh, he does get a hit in. He managed to loot the shell over that ridgeline, just into him. Now, because it's got such a fast fire rate, or fast shell rate actually, over 500 meters, and there goes the defender. He just got taken out by the A Phase 2. Because it's got such a fast shell velocity, 510 meters per second, it's got a much flatter trajectory than other Artys, but it also means that it's very good at leading targets. Plus, of course, being able to dial in quickly on the enemy means that even whilst you're trying to move your aim, it's fairly well dialed in already. That's the thing about the Soviet Arties. They do have very narrow arcs of fire. Only 10 degrees on this one. But they do dial in quick, which compensates for that. Uh-oh. That Meal-2 just wiped out our T-28 prototype, who was holding up the Progetto. So it looks like one of the enemy tanks is going to be coming out of the castle very shortly. Probably the Progetto first, followed by the Meal afterwards. And the Leopards got up on top of the hill nearby. That's out. And that's a near miss. It was a near miss for 185. Yes, that sounds like Steve Austin, doesn't it? Where are you? The Progetto and the Emil are being very, very cautious. Steve Austin? No, why am I saying Steve Austin? It sounds like Chuck Norris, actually. Don't know why I said Steve Austin. I must have been thinking about Steve Austin the other day. In fact, I did remember seeing something about the actor Steve Austin, or person who played him, Lee Majors. He's looking for counter battery, and I think that's a fairly good sign that somebody's there, because you see there's broken walls. Broken walls indicate somebody's gone through them. And there's a broken wall there next to that rock, which means that he's probably come forward of that rock. But the broken walls to the side indicate that he actually went through to the west. So he's there's somebody over there. There's definitely somebody over there. He knows his Arty, you see, because obviously you look for various changes like walls being knocked down, scenery being destroyed. Those are clues as to where the enemy is, and then you just want to see the tracer. Now normally it's better to actually look from above to see the tracer, and of course if you listen carefully enough, you can actually hear the whoosh of a shell going out. Doesn't sound like anything at the moment. So we're only one tank up on the enemy at the moment, but they're very reluctant to come south. And we're being very reluctant about going north. Ah, there was the tracer. And there's one in the corner as well. He's going to go for the one in the corner. There's two enemy Arties, a T-92 HMC and an FP3805. And I'm pretty sure he actually hit one of them. And he's going back to that spot again. Yeah, because the splash from one of the shells probably didn't hit the other. That shell came in from our other colleague in the M53, M55. He's changed his mind. Okay, our guys are now pushing on the east side of the map. But they got as far as the Zeppelin and stopped because there was a Scorpion, an SU-130PM and a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. Now he's hugging this side of that little copse at the moment because obviously enemy Arty might be looking for him at the moment. After all, he did fire that round in and potentially the enemy saw where he was. It certainly would help actually to let his teammates know that that's where he was looking. Ah, there's the T-28 Super Heavy tank. It was called the T-28 Super Heavy. Well, actual fact, it was also the also called the T-95 at one point as well. Well, they did lose their T-28 because the M53, M55 got him. And now we've got a Tiger 2 come underneath the bridge around the moat. Can we get a shot? Probably. Fires it a bit late, but gets a direct hit. 293. Non-penetrating shot, but probably does some module damage. He's gone back to the counter battery again. Reload time standard is 30.68 seconds. Oh, there's the Progetto again. Lining him up. That's the one that was in the castle. He's not going to shoot at that one, but he will hit this guy. Very light armor on the gorilla. He's dialed in. Well, he didn't get the kill. It was the M53, M55 who got it. His reload time, 25.42, so he's actually 5 seconds less than the book time. Oh, they just lost their Progetto as well. And that's good, because we're keeping par with them at the moment. Tiger 2's come along the moat again. Difficult to get a hit there. And you see the top of the turret. Wait for him to get a bit more visible. Oh! Yep, it was a near miss right in front of him. But because we've got tanks nearby as well, that stun probably gave the Scorpion the opportunity to actually go in. Now we've got their Scorpion G in sight. Now this could be fun. Is he going to stay where he is and get hit? Rounds out. Well, he got splashed right behind him for 183. Well, we've lost sight of him again. They lost the Tiger 2. So we're still one tank ahead of him. Ah, there's the Scorpion G. He's gone into the castle grounds through the gateway. And he's taken out by our Scorpion G, which now means that we've got a 2-tank advantage. They've only got 3 tank destroyers. They're all over on the east side of the map, which means our guys can now shoot through the castle towards the enemy. And that was a totally speculative shot. He's now got 5 rounds left. 2 premium, 3 non-premium. And they just killed the FV3805. Our M53, M55's having a good game. He's now got 3 kills. And unfortunately, Huggy hasn't got any at all. And there's the FB, which means the T92 must have been the one that was in the corner. Firing a blind shot in. Nope. Nothing off that. He could go up the west side now, because there's no enemy tanks on the west side of the map. They're all on the east side, trying to prevent the EAE phase 1 and the others from moving up. They obviously knocked that tree down so that the tank destroyers could operate from it. I wonder if he's going to fire a round in at that spot. I think that's the marker for the SU-130PM. Oh, there's their SU-130PM. He's pulling out. Try and line him up. Work out where to put the shell. He's stopping to turn and move forward. Round out. Oh, it landed just behind him to one side. At this point in the game, I'd be moving forwards to try and get closer to the enemy. Get a shorter reaction time on them. 1 round of standard ammo left. Well, we've had the 2-minute horn. And normally in a battle like this, you would use up most of the Object 261's ammo before the game was even completed. And we just lost the AE phase 2 to the SU-130PM. Round out, that's a bit late, but it splash kills the Borzig. So he has got his first kill now. Can he get some more? I'd be severely tempted to move over to the west side of the map and start moving forward. Okay, that's the last minute. Only 3 enemy remaining. Oh, blind kill on the Waffenträger. Excellent. He was in that little channel. And they just found the T92 and the Scorpion killed him. Which means now there's only 1 enemy remaining, the SU-130PM. And he was last seen on the east side of the map. They're homing in. There he is. Rounds out. Splash kill 1. Yes! And he finally gets a 3rd kill. So that's both Artys managed to get 3 kills before the end of that game. Let's have a look at the second replay. In the second battle, Huggy9999 is in the Object 261 on Erlenberg. And it's an assault game, so he's on the assault team, trying to capture the enemy base or kill all the enemy tanks within the next 10 minutes. Well, one of the enemy tanks has decided to come quite a long way south, and that's the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. And he's gone, well, he came far as close as the castle and then turned around and went back again. Well, from this position, you can see Huggy's got some great shots on that T135 and E4. He's gone straight to the aim. Oh, that ST2. That's a bit of a dangerous thing to do. He's crossing the water in the open and got hit, and he's now stuck on the island, tracked. We haven't picked up any damage assist from that yet, but he's now going back to try and cross to the other side. Now, if you can track somebody whilst they're in the water, they're going to take a lot of damage. Can you get another round in? But he fires it in very late, but he does track the guy. He got one in, and he got some stun assists. Lots of stun assists and damage assists as well, because he tracked them. Looking up the main street. Can't see any tanks we can hit there. There's the SD2. And he's out the game now. So for all that crossing the river didn't do him any good, actually. He might as well have stayed in there on the other side. Well, the E5 is just rocking backwards and forwards, which is not going to help him because he is going to lose hit points from being splashed. Now, Huggy is actually moving position, changing it just every now and then to ensure that he doesn't get counter-batteried. And he's going to change position. Wants a better angle. That looks nice. Dialed in, ready to go. Oh, fantastic! Yes, that unit is straight back to the garage. Well, we're 2 up on the enemy at the moment, but it's still early birds and we've still got 6.5 minutes to win this game. There's a couple of enemy tanks on this side of the map which I think Huggy needs to pay attention to. TVP and the FP4005. Now you can do a lot of damage to both of them because they've got thin armour. There's the TVP. He can loop the shell over the ridgeline, whereas his other teammates might not be able to. He's crossing the water. Now's the time to hit him when he's in over the water. Well, he fired it ahead of the TVP's track. I'd be very tempted to try and track them whilst they're underwater and make them drown, because you still get that as a kill. Okay, we've got a Foch, an Object 261. There's the opposition. And it looks like there's another Arty there as well, because I just saw the tracer. So there's 2 Arty in the same spot. Rounds out. And he gets a splash kill. Now the other Arty, the T92 HMC, is right next door to that 261. It was just a little further back. I saw the tracer as we saw the 261 moving. So he's in the same spot, but he's actually now aiming for the TVP T5051 and the FP4005 There's the TVP. And there's the Foch. He's going for the Foch rather than the TVP. Rounds out. Went long. Hit the water instead. Now these guys are stopping our guys from getting at the caps, so we really need to take care of them. And this was recorded, this replay happened shortly after the Foch 155 was in the secret warehouse. Or was it the black market? I think it was the black market, wasn't it? So there was more Foches about than normal. There was 2 Foches on the enemy team. They're both still in the game, both Foches. In fact, it looks like they're... Hello, here's the Heshbon. There's one of the Foches. Rounds out. Oh! That's his 3rd kill. He's having a good game. Okay, T92 HMC. You can kill this one. I said he was in the same spot. You can just see his tracer when he was firing when we spotted the Object 261 and then Huggy killed him. Go for it. Get a counter battery. Line him up. And he's now a splash kill. Rounds out. Anywhere near. And it's a direct hit. So that was 4 kills and a counter battery. And now if you can track that Foch underwater, you might be able to drown him. He's using the wreck of the other Foch as a kind of shield. The 60 TP doesn't care. He's gone straight in and he wipes him out. Okay, we've got a 60 TP and IS-7. That's all they've got left on their team. Defending the cap area. Landed in front of him for 241. And there goes the 60 TP, so the IS-7 is the last one. And the team are gathering together to try and get the kill. If he can get a stun on this vehicle, then he can pick up the stun assist. Rounds out, long flight time, kill shot! He got it. And wins the battle. Let's have a look at the end of battle results, starting with the first game on Redshire. And here's the end of battle results. And it was the first class tanker for Huggy9999 in the Object 261 on Redshire. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 21 in this game. He got a Faden's medal. Yes, actually, I wasn't watching the ammo, but I did notice that he was running short on ammo. He actually killed that last enemy with his last round, which earned him a Faden's. He also got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he also got a Confederate as well, because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else in his team, and his win rate from that battle, 5,449, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, he was right at the top of the table with 4,334 hit points of damage. The next high scorer was in fact the Gorilla 15 on the enemy team, one of the tanks he killed actually. 3,313 hit points of damage went to him. At least I think he was one of the ones he killed. Did he kill the Gorilla? No, he didn't actually. I thought that he did kill the Gorilla. No, he didn't actually get that one. He got the Waffenträger instead, yes. And the next high score after that was the E100 with 2,693 hit points. When it came to kills, he was actually beaten by the AE Phase 1 and also the SU-130PM on the enemy team. He got both of those, got 4 kills each. 3 kills went to Huggy and also to the Emil 2 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he was actually in 3rd place because the Scorpion G managed 1,133, the AE Phase 1 1,024, and then we got Huggy with 985. I think it's showing, well, it's saying Lie 100, but of course that's not his true identity, because if we click that through, it should come up and say Huggy9999. And there's the battle, the results showing it is Huggy9999. And the other name was his anonymized name for the game. Let's have a look at the, go back again to the results, and we can see that, if we close that, we can see that when it came to detail reports, he fired all 20 rounds. 6 direct hits, no penetrations on the enemy, 18 splash, damage of 4,334 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 3, did 937 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 63,798 credits from that game, and after ammunition respawn, yes, he did use some premium ammo, so his costs were slightly higher. He ended up with 13,758 credits profit. If he'd used the free-to-play account, he actually would have made a loss. He got 7 bonds for it being tier 10, and 1,477 XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,956 for completing a mission and events, and took away 5,911 experience points altogether. So a fairly good game actually, because there are a lot of medals in this one, and of course the most damage in the game. That last shot to kill the enemy SU-130 PM, which actually won him the Fadens. Let's have a look at the next battle. That was the one on Erlenberg. And now you can see that he got a second class tanker in that game. Didn't do quite as well, but he did get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, just 1 short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team, as well as getting a counter battery because he took out both enemy Arty, the Object 261 and the T92 HMC. He also picked a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 10, but his win rate wasn't as high, 2,631. Let's have a look at team score and see why. Well, in this one he didn't get the most damage. The Centurion Action 10 managed to get the most with 3,178. The next high score after that was the Progetto 65 with 3,167, and then 3,126 went to the T22 medium. So I suppose you could say that it was the tanks that were doing most of the damage in the street on Erlenberg, whereas he was picking off enemy around the outside. He did get 2,558 hit points of damage, so it puts him down in 6th place on the table because there was nobody on the enemy team who managed to score as much as that. And when it came to kills, he got the top slot with 5 kills, 2 kills to the Centurion Action 10 and the Foch 155. And yes, there was a lot of Foches in that game. You can see there's 3 on the enemy team alone, and there was 3 on his own team as well. So maybe Wargaming did have an effect upon that battle by putting the Foch in the black market. When it came to base XP, he was still on the top with 956, 892 went to the 60TP, 856 went to the EBR 105. He fired 12 rounds in this game, so didn't fire as many shells, a lot less actually, 6 direct hits and 1 penetration this time, 12 splash. Now I suspect the penetrating shot was one of the Arty. Was it this one? We'll have a look. No, it wasn't that one. Was it the T92? No, it wasn't that one. So who did he pen? It was the FV4005. He actually penned him on that one. That must have hit his turret and done a nice amount of damage. But it's a very low roll actually, 563 for a pen. You would expect it to be a lot higher. Now, 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 925 hit points of damage assistance, and 1,888 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a premium count in this one, he managed to get 57,033 credits, and after ammunition resupply, he actually ended up with 33,273 credits. This time round, he didn't fire as much premium ammo. He got 35 bonds in the game, and 7 from the this being a tier 10 battle, so 42 in total, and 1,434 XP. And there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But 2 very good battles in the Object 261, which is one of the better tier 10 Arties actually. I think if you had to put them in order, I'd say in my view, the Conqueror gun carriage is still the top dog when it comes to playing tier 10 Arty. The Object 261 is a very close second. I do like the T92 HMC, and the GWE100, well, it's got a 21 centimeter gun. I think when it comes down to it, yes, it's always going to be the Batchat 155-58 being at the bottom, because the lower caliber tier 10 is not really capable of doing as much damage as it used to do in the past. When it did have a 4-shot autoloader with a 2-second delay, then it was pretty deadly. Was it 2 seconds or 4 seconds? I think it was a short delay between each shot. then it was quite a deadly Arty, but since they've neutered it by making it only 3 shots and putting a 10-second delay between each shot, I'm afraid, yes, it's no longer the best Arty or the top tier 10 Arty. I think, in my view, the Conqueror gun carriage is still the best, and closely followed by the 261 because of its speed, its accuracy, and the range, the reach. So well done to Huggy9999 in this game. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.